Morning, everyone. Here we are today to speak about the reach of e-commerce and how that's changed post-COVID in India. With me today, Shivani already ran the introduction. Uh, so e-commerce has played a major role in this COVID world. It has helped people, retain their livelihoods at home, continue on with routine life, so that you don't have to get out of your house to buy supplies. It's saved, I would say, this pandemic. The digital world in general, I would say, is the saving grace of this pandemic, right, today. Anyway, so with that, today on the panel, we have four very experienced individuals. Let's start with Ahana. She's the CEO of Open Secret, 9-month-old company, relatively, new to the e-commerce world in India. Then there's Siddharth, who leads Epigamia, the marketing and sales for Epigamia, 5-year-old business. And they've had their, so I would say, sort of, they've had their experiences there in e-commerce as well. Kashyap, a market, so he leads CMO for Pepperfry. He leads the a marketplace, a furniture marketplace in India, 9-year-old business. And then we have Pankaj, who leads, Godrej Consumer Properties, 123-year-old business. So we've got everyone from 9 months to 123 years old businesses over here, and everyone at different stages of maturity of their digital experience. So with that, I'd love to sort of just start off, just simple open chat with everyone in the panel, saying, okay, what have been your experiences so far, guys? Hannah, let's start with you, and then move in that order. Uh, how have you seen e-commerce change for you in the last few months?
Sure. Firstly, I would say I'm super excited to be on this panel with such great folks representing great brands. So I'm Ahana Gautam, CEO and co-founder of Open Secret. Let me first begin with sharing why I started Open Secret. Well, I grew up in a really small city in Rajasthan by a working mother. I was a fat kid and I used to fell sick all the time. It was only when I was studying at Harvard Business School that I noticed how much attention do people pay about what they're eating and the role that food plays in your health and wellness. And at the same time, I was also hearing complaints about from my sister-in-law that she is facing issues finding healthy and convenient options for the family and especially for the kid. So this made me realize that why there is not a good access of healthy and nutrition food for families. Why do Indian families have to eat junk? And that was my motivation and inspiration to come back to India with a promise and with a mission so that we can enable every Indian family to eat better. So with this mission, we launched our first line of product called and then we will be launching more and more categories soon this year.
Okay, got a panel over here which has a marketplace, a brand, and then 3 brands, and actually all 4 of you guys are brands. But what I was trying to say is basically the focus on like a D2C versus the e-commerce platforms. How do you guys weigh in the pros or cons of each of them? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Cool. Ahana, what about you?
Yeah, I would say like both D2C and e-commerce, if I club it as online channel, they, as Siddharth was mentioning, plays a very, very strategic role. And I would say there are clearly 3 values which I can highlight. So first is pan-India availability. We are a new age brand, a brand like us, which is only 9 months old. Online opens up the entire country for us.
Yeah.
And if you say that, e-commerce is for metro cities, I think that's a myth.
Interesting.
If I have to just give you a data point, last month, 60% of our sales came from non-metro cities. So it's a very critical channel which helps us that we are becoming more and more available to families all across the country. So that is number 1. Number 2, I would say the most important thing for a new brand is to hear back directly from the consumer, right? That feedback loop is so critical. And the proximity that you have because of the D2C channel, it's really, really important. And when we launch a D2C channel, the most obvious choice is, okay, you have a website or you have an app, right? We didn't do that. We started with WhatsApp. because we said, let's not try and replicate the consumer journey. Let's reimagine the consumer journey online. So if you can think a mother going to a kirana store and say, okay, please, can you give me a biscuit? Now they're having a direct dialogue with us and they say, why should we pick your cookie? And then we say that, our cookie doesn't have any maida, our cookie has 40 to 50% nuts. So this kind of feedback loop, firstly, like communication of message. And the second thing, when the consumer has tried the product, that also changes your innovation pipeline. So just to give another example, we launched this product which is a box of 2 cookies. We said that's perfect, a kid can have 2 cookies for a day. And then the consumer came back to us and said that during COVID, in the lockdown, the entire family is sitting in an evening, someone is having chai, someone is having milk, and they want a bigger box with more cookies. So now in next week, we are launching a box of 6 cookies so that the entire family can enjoy, and moving from just a kid occasion to the entire family moment occasion. That's number two. That feedback loop, the proximity with the consumer. And the third thing I would say, which is extremely critical for us, very relevant for a new age brand like us, is having a lean organization and thinking about ROI. So I was just discussing this with my team, that we were calculating revenue per employee and we were comparing that with you can say an incumbent biscuit brand. And for us, it's 10x. So we don't have deep pockets to deploy this organization to cater to the entire country, but with just 1 or 2 digital resources, we can
Sure.
generate a lot of revenue. So I
Right.
would say, because of three reasons, B2C is extremely critical, and especially the entire online channel is extremely critical for us.